Today we're launching a brand new series on Plug and Play, and we're kicking it off with an interview with Twitch partner DJTechlive. So as usual, stick around and check it out. All right, so like I said, guys, tonight we are launching a brand new series on Plug and Play called Backstage. And I've got my man DJTechlive here with me tonight, which is awesome. He's going to be my first guest, which is absolutely fantastic because he's the perfect person to highlight and begin this whole new series. So just really quick, for you guys that don't know, Plug and Play is a tech review channel that I host, that I do, that is dedicated to reviewing the equipment that goes into creating content. So microphones, cameras, lighting, green screens, anything that we as content creators use to create the content that we make. That's what I hope to review on this channel. And all the reviews are geared towards content creators, not the general public. I'm speaking directly to content creators like you and myself when I'm doing these reviews. So they're very topical, on point, and they speak to the needs that we have as creators. So what is Backstage? Plug and Play Backstage is a series where over the course of my years in content creation on Twitch and on YouTube, I've met awesome people like DJTechlive here, and I'm going to bring them onto the show, and we're going to throw back the curtain, go behind the scenes, backstage, and see the content or the gear that they use to create their own content. We're going to break it down piece by piece, talk a little bit about why they chose that equipment, you know, some of their favorite features, things like that. And that's what Plug and Play Backstage is. It's designed to be a resource for you as a content creator to learn what people that are doing it at a professional level are using, how they use it. So maybe it'll help you get a leg up. Maybe it'll kind of help you get an idea of what kind of gear you want to use. And maybe if you want to emulate something that they're doing, this will kind of give you a little bit of a jump start as you start your career as a content creator. So that's what Plug and Play Backstage is. And so now let's jump into the first episode with DJTechlive. So DJTechlive, welcome to the show. I'm so excited that you're here. Thank you for being my first guinea pig interview. And so before I get started, before we jump into the gear and stuff like that, I just want you to introduce yourself, talk a little bit about your channel, the content that you create, and your journey as a broadcaster on Twitch.
All right, as again, my name is DJ Been streaming for about 4 years now. Got partnered within 8 years of me starting. So we just had our sub-anniversary not too long ago for over 3 years.
He met 8 months.
8 months, yeah, 8 months.
8 months.
That's 8 years?
You said 8 years. I was like, that's a long time. He was a live broadcaster working towards partnership before Twitch even existed.
Yeah, man.
So,
you know,
yeah, he's OG as it gets, as OG as it gets.
Yeah, we it's because I get confused because anytime we have a reset, we say 32 years, even though it's like months. You know, we just joke around. My channel focuses on positivity. To be honest, I know that sounds kind of cliche, but it really does focus on positivity. We try to keep it around work friendly, family friendly, PG-16 most of the time. We don't drop F-bombs or anything. And we try to focus on keeping things copacetic, man, and calm. Basically, a lot of bad things happen in the world. You get depressed, whatever. We come here, we have fun. I'm a little bit of a comedian. I do a lot of different voices, so I try to entertain at the end of the day. So I guess you can say I'm more of an entertainer when it comes to it than a hardcore gamer. Though I do play games most of the time. I do creative streams on Sundays. I teach and I do motivational speaks, and I'll have a show coming out soon focusing on comics because that's a big passion of mine. So, you know, we're doing a good bit of everything. I'm a variety caster. And the journey, like I said, I was suffering from anxiety when I was younger, all the way up till my adult ages. So I wanted to find a way to cope with it while helping others, and streaming ended up being the perfect thing because I was like, well, if I'm going to game, I might as well turn a camera on and game at the same time. And from there was history.
That's awesome. That's awesome. So you've been partnered you got partnered in 8 months. And so if you've been streaming for 3 years, you've been partnered for almost your entire 3 years. I mean, or 4 years.
Well, 4 years, right.
So, so you got partnered really quick, right? So one of the things that a lot of people don't really understand is when they get started in content creation on Twitch, specifically, I know a lot more about Twitch than anything else, but I know as a Twitch broadcaster, I know a lot of partnered broadcasters, and 8 months is a very short amount of time. That's like rocket ship level, when it comes to the the amount of time that it takes most people to become partnered, right? One misconception with anything, I mean, even on YouTube, it can take years before you can attain that. And so it's just cool to see, especially for you, it's awesome to see that there are people that just rocket ship, you know what I mean, that can do it in a short period of time. And I think you were telling me earlier that you thought that was a long time. 8 months was a long time.
8 months back then was, I thought it was a long time. I thought I should have been partnered within 3 months. Kind of, it sounds cocky, but it's like the level of entertainment that I was putting in, and, doing a bad thing you shouldn't do is comparing yourself to everybody else. I was like, man, some of these people getting partnered instantly, but I didn't understand back then that there were other rules. Like if you were part of a bigger website, you had a little bit more credibility because you could bring more people. So but nowadays it's just really hard to get partnered within that short period of time.
It's a competitive market, and it's hard because in content creation, like you said, you don't want to compete against people, you know what I mean? But ultimately there's only so many viewers, and there's so many broadcasters, and so it is, if you're starting out as a content creator and your goal is partnership, be prepared for the long haul and get ready, because it can take a long time, and there's a lot of sacrifices that go into it. So that's just something that it's good to put that out there and make sure people keep getting that reminder. So don't get discouraged either. You know what I mean? It can take a long time to get there. So so that's cool. And so you said that on Sundays, you were mentioning really quickly that you do creative streams. So what's up with the creative stuff?
I needed something else. I needed a break away from gaming, and I wanted to offer something a lot of channels didn't offer back then. Back when I started creative wasn't even a thing on Twitch. We just kind of sat in a dead channel and drew, and Twitch started. Oh my goodness, these people are starting to build. It's like first it was me. I want to say his real name. Gears, Katie that does body paints and stuff. We were like the trio, and next thing you know, we got reached out by Twitch, said, hey, we're gonna plan on doing this creative thing in the near future, you guys interested? And I was like, this is perfect. So I started really taking this serious. I used to do creative twice a week, actually. I just went to one day about 2 years ago because I need to take a day off. So just get my Cintiq, or not my Cintiq, I have a Cintiq now, but back then I had like an Intuos Pro, and I would just draw in front of people, and I did not know people were really interested in seeing you just draw. I thought it was the most boring thing in the world, but they loved it. And so I was like, all right, I'll teach you guys, my tricks of the trade on how to, do concept art and stuff like that. And still to this day, people are wanting that stream every Sunday. It's like a TV show for them.
That's awesome. Modern day Bob Ross right here. There it is. That's awesome. Good deal. Very good. That's awesome, man. Good deal. All right. So let's jump in. So the next thing I wanted to talk about really quickly is as we jump into this, the first thing I just want to throw out there, just so you guys know, this entire segment, I'm not sponsored by anyone. I'm not partnered with anyone. So any gear that you see here, none of this is benefiting me in any way. So that's the disclaimer on my side of things. But I wanted to just put this out there as well, right? Because, I know what you do and how long you've been doing it. And so a lot of the gear we're going to cover tonight is directly connected to his sponsorships, right? So he's sponsored with a few different companies, and so a lot of I think most of the gear that we're going to talk about tonight is directly related to those. And so before we jump into the gear, I also wanted to talk about that a little bit real quick. So one question, I guess kind of a two-part question that I had was, after you got partnered, these sponsorships, were any of these were you sponsored by anyone before you got partnered, right? They're in that 8 months of time, that you, or not in that 8 months of time, but how quickly, you got partnered. Did you have any sponsorships before? And then, or did you have them all, did they all kind of arrive after the fact, after the partnership?
Right. I had one, Loot Crate kind of reached out to me because they liked my personality. And I think they saw me asking about the product on social media. I was like, because I was looking into buying Loot Crate. So I thought it was pretty cool. I was like, man, I love geeky stuff. I want to fill up my shelves with stuff, I love pop figures. And they were introducing pop figure every Loot Crate. So I was like, man, this is a good way to get it and get a cool t-shirt at the same time. And then I think they saw me reach out, say something like, anybody know anything about Loot Crate? And next thing you know, I got an email saying, hey, we checked out your stuff. We like your personality. We think we'd be a good fit. Because Loot Crate was a smaller company back then too. They were looking for just people to represent them and just have their thing and talk about it and show a Loot Crate off once a month. And I was like, why not get a free Loot Crate and get to do this? So I was like, yeah, I'm down. And I'm still to this day, I'm with them. And I do a unboxing every month. I gotta do the one for this one. But it's awesome. And afterwards, that's when all of them start pouring in. I can say the bigger sponsors came around after 20,000 follows. Once I hit 20,000 follows, it was like a wave of stuff. And the higher you get in follows, the crazier. Like after I hit 40,000, is the real big ones that you never expect to come your way, your way.
Yeah.
Like DX Racer, Alienware, like stuff like that, computer systems. And I didn't jump on all those. I kind of looked at what they were offering, what I had to do, because at the end of the day, the most important thing is don't sell yourself too much to these companies, because they make a good bit of money off of you. And what they offer you, sometimes they kind of shy away from the fact that we need to eat too. So, they're like, oh, if we give this person product, that's good enough. So you just got to be careful about what you read in the contracts, how much you actually have to do for them. Now, if you got to stick like a banner in the bottom of your information and just have that there and they're giving you free stuff, then cool.
Yeah.
That's free advertising for them. It's cheap for them. And the product that they give you is coming straight from them. But if they're requiring you to make a certain amount of sales per week and stuff, next thing you know, it becomes a job. You're not getting paid you should. You got to question. So you just got to be careful with that. So I turned down a lot of big companies that a lot of people would be like, why?
Yeah, that's good. I mean, that's great information, especially for people that are starting out. Like, make sure you don't sell yourself too cheap, right? And make sure it's not too much work. And the other thing that I've heard a lot of times too is be careful about the amount of control that you give over your content, right? Because if you start giving too much creative control over to them, because they want to they want to be PC, or they want to kind of change, they don't let them change you, right? You are the content. At the end of the day, people are coming to watch you. And so you got to do your thing. You got to upkeep the image that you kind of started with, right? Because people know you've seen it when people change because the sponsorships come around. You get the sellout term. You start getting labeled and stuff. You don't want to get in that. It's just be you, stick with you, and find the sponsors that will support that. So that's really good information. So that's cool. All right, so let's just jump right into the gear. That's the most important part of this whole thing. Let's just get started with that. And so we're going to start out in the very beginning here. I want to talk about we're going to hit the two main most important pieces of equipment, in my opinion, for Twitch broadcasting, and those are going to be the cameras and the microphones, right? Because in the world of live streaming, I mean, I don't know if you're on Twitch, you're on Mixer, you're on YouTube, on Facebook, whatever, right? It's all about communicating. It's all about interacting with your audience. And so, the camera is important, but I think the king of all of them is the microphone, right? Because I mean, even let's just throw out a big name. We'll say Lyric, obviously, for example, right? I think he owns a camera. I think he streamed with it like twice in his career or something crazy. But he's just, I mean, he is a microphone guy. He doesn't have a camera, so let's start out. Let's start out with the microphone tonight. Let's just jump right into that. And so, starting off with the microphone, you use from I reached out to you and you sent me back a list of all the gear you got, and so you use the Blue Spark microphone, the blackout version, which you can see right here. We can see it right here hanging in front of you. So why did you choose the Blue Spark?
First of all, audio is probably the key most important thing to your stream. I mean, without audio, you can't make a connection with your viewers, sponsors, pretty much anybody, because you never know who's watching your channel. You really can't broadcast without a mic. I mean, that's what it is. I mean, I've seen some people do some cool things before, but for the most part of it, if you can speak, a mic is important. So I needed something that complemented my voice, and there's a lot of mics out there that say they can do certain things. They have a lot of stuff built in. There's USB mics, XLR, but 3.5 millimeter jack, whatever. But the thing is that Blue is the only microphone that actually picked up my real voice. And I've had tons of headsets, bought into so many people's, stories about, oh, this headset's better than the other one, and oh, this mic is good. You need to spend $4,200 on a mic to sound good. No, that's not true. Yeah. So, those mics do exist, and those mics are for a certain reason. Just because it's $4,200 may not be good for you. Blue mics are affordable. They're expensive to the average streamer. Totally. But it's worth it. So I'm not saying go out there and spend thousands, but this one I believe is like $250, something like that. But man, does it sound good? It picks up volume really well. It's sturdy as I don't know what. They packaged their product really, really well. It came in like this, I call it a little coffin, but it's like this box that's really, really nicely made, handmade with engravings of the blue logo on it. You open it up, there's foam padding everywhere. Everything is wrapped up.
Yeah.
What I always said was, you know, when you have a good product, if the packaging is good.
Yep.
If they spent money on the packaging inside that box, I mean, look at Apple. Like Apple's spends, they engineered a box, okay?
Totally.
That cost them a good bit of money to even make a sound when you open, like a, you know, kind of sound when you open it.
Yeah.
The package is good, the product's good, you know. So
for sure,
cell phone companies and a lot of companies starting to follow suit with packaging.
Yep.
Because it's important. It's the first thing you see is like a book cover. The mic has a great range. It doesn't pick up any background noise at all. I don't know how it does it, because there's a mic piece in the front that's a receiving, and then there's another one in the back. If you smack it, you hear. But for some reason, I was like, this design is interesting, but I get it now. Because you can have this mic anywhere and still hear. Yep. Well, of course, sitting in front of the mic is good. It's one of those mics where you want to have right in front of your face. Because there's different mics for that.
Yep.
But I didn't need a what was it, the cloud, I think it's called. It like makes the sound a little bit louder.
Yeah.
I think you need that for that one mic. It's like a little shotgun mic that a lot of radio stations use. You had to get that cloud mixer to push it up a little bit more. But you don't need anything. You just need this XLR cord, maybe a mixer, and that's it. It's and it looks good. Small footnote. It's not a gigantic mic sitting in my face.
Yeah, I mean it's a pretty looking microphone. I mean, you know what I mean, because I've seen, you know, I use a Blue Yeti. I use the Blackout Blue Yeti myself, and I've used Blue for a long time. They're great. They're great products. But yeah, I mean, especially for you, because you have it visible at all times. You know, on stream. You know, a lot of people they have it hanging above them, and it's just outside of the camera range, or you know, they can't see it. Like mine right now, you can't even see it. It's right in front of me. And so, but yours, it's just a pretty looking mic. So I mean, I can really give that too. It's a beautiful packaging.
I could have got the Yeti, you know, with the arm and had it hanging up here, but I stand up a lot, so I probably bump my head or something of that nature, you know. And I like people being able to hear me, and I do a lot of talk show stuff, so it's not really good to have a mic sit somewhere else, you know, when you're doing a talk show, so to speak, because you can pick up background noise. Or I got an animal, I got a cat, so you know, I got to watch out for him. So having it out of the way is really nice, and having it this small, I'm surprised how much power this bad boy hits. And right now it's on the low end. There's a button that you slip on this thing, and it makes it extremely loud. I mean, I call it the ASMR setting, because literally, like, you can hear it, like, you hear me now? Like, so, isn't that crazy? It's good. But anyway,
that's cool.
Good product.
Yeah, for sure. All right, cool. So then let's move down to cameras. So you got listed two different cameras. You get the Logitech C922 and the Logitech C930E. And so the first question that came to my mind when I was reading your list of gear is, why do you have two cameras?
Yeah, I have a two PC stream setup, so I used each PC for something different. One PC is heavy on the CPU side, has a lot of cords and stuff. That's where I do my streaming. Then we have the gaming computer that's just decked out for gaming. And I put a camera on each one for different reasons. So the E is on my streaming computer because it has a little bit more clearer picture, a little bit more truer color. And it doesn't try to focus every 5 seconds. And then the 922 is on the gaming computer for like when I do interviews and stuff like that. I just have it there, and it's good to have for a cat cam or drawing cam. I hook both into one computer and have different angles. A lot of people like seeing what your hands are doing, playing fighting games. I got a fight stick. People like to see how your hands are moving, they like that, or even like flying sims or something like that. People just like having options, right? So the more options you give, the more professional your stream looks. And playing with angles is something that really people are starting to do nowadays. The broadcasting is kind of interesting where it's going. It's
becoming more production. Like when you're doing interviews, they do the long shot away and all that kind of stuff. There people like that kind of stuff. So I mean, I don't know if you guys noticed, but I noticed that you said cat cam. What's up with, you got a cat cam?
Yeah, cat cam. I have a cat. I had a dog. He's with my parents right now because I couldn't really spend the time with the dog. Is way more needy. The cat is a gigantic British tabby. He's right next to me right now, lounges around, and people love the cat cam. So when we hit milestones in the stream, cut the cat cam on for right now for St. Jude, every $100 given, the cat cam pops on. for an hour, and they racked up. This cat can probably be on for the next 4 or 5 days from today. And they just love seeing Morris. And Morris loves being on camera. He'll pose, he'll sit down, he'll lay in front of it. He knows it's there. So
oh man, you got a ham cat, huh?
Yeah, man.
All right. So we just uncovered the secret to your 8-month partnership right there, cat cam. So, for all of you guys that are just starting out, if you don't have a cat cam, you're in it for the long haul for a couple years. Yeah. Get a cat cam, you're looking at like 8 to 10 months partnership.
Yeah, man.
Just 100% guaranteed. Yeah, for sure. That's cool. That's awesome, man. Cool. Okay, awesome. So let's move on. So then we got the Blue Compass boom arm. This is a really new product. Yeah, we can see it right there on the screen. This just came out a couple months ago, right? I think it's
it's been about 3 months. I want to say about 3 months when it was released to us, and then it went to the market a little bit after. It's gorgeous. This is probably the best looking boom arm I've ever seen. It's completely blacked out. It's metal, sturdy. It has a place where your cord can go. You see the cord kind of getting fed in through all the way down, so your cords are hanging all over the place. It has 3 movable joints. So it's kind of like, it's literally an arm. So if your arm is when you got your elbow, your shoulder, your wrist, and it's literally mimicking an arm. So you can pick the elbow up, you can pull the wrist down, and you can position this right there, and it's sturdy. And it doesn't mark up your desk. And it's lightweight, crazy enough. So it's, man, for the price, I couldn't believe it. I was like, you guys doing this for how much? And he was like, oh yeah, could you spread it around? I was like, please. Yeah. People bought this thing. So people that don't even stream it. Because just think they play, a lot of people have mics nowadays, play games. Man, it's gorgeous too. It's black and gold. It's like my favorite combination of colors right there. So
that's cool, man. Well, shoot, man, a Blue, if you end up watching this video, you just cut that section out. There's a commercial right there for the Blue Compass. That was perfect. Yeah, no, that's awesome. What did you use before that? Did you have a boom arm before that?
Yeah, I had a boom arm. It was a metal thing I bought off of Amazon for like $50. It was no offense to whoever made it. It was annoying. It was loose, so it was screws, so eventually they strip away at the metal, and it got super loose, man. The cool thing about this one is it has these knobs on the joints that lock in, and the joint doesn't move at that point.
Okay.
And but the screws, you end up forcing it eventually, it strips, and the next thing you know, you got this thing that's kind of like wobbling around and stuff. And it was marking up my desk, and at the time it had a big old spring, so that thing would get caught up and stuff. It was a little pain. So this is a blessing. You don't see anything now.
So I'm thinking about getting one. I have a janky one too. I have an even worse one than you. If you spent $50 on one, man, I spent like $15 on mine. It's a piece of junk. I don't even use it. It's in the backpack. You might even be. Oh yeah, you can see it right there. There it is right there. Yeah, it's in a bin. It's not going anywhere. It's never gonna get used again. I might donate that or something. Cool. That's awesome. So now we're gonna jump into we're gonna kind of take a little bit of a break from the content creator gear directly, but we're gonna jump into a little bit of the gaming gear because we're gonna have some gamers on here. If you're a Twitch broadcaster, more than likely you do a lot of video gaming, and so let's do a little break from the creator gear, and we'll get into some of the gaming stuff you got going on. And so you are again sponsored by SteelSeries, which is cool. So I was looking through, I was researching all the gear that you use, and man, you got like the top shelf stuff, man. We're talking like the Arctis Pro with the game DAC. We got it's everything. So let's start off there because you're using it. I think you're wearing the Arctis Pro right now, right? That's the headset you're wearing right now. Correct. Now this thing is like they're top of the line. Right.
It's that. I mean, SteelSeries is really great when you're sponsored by them. They always give you option to have the top of the line stuff. You don't have to have the top of the line, and just because the top of the line doesn't mean it's best for you.
Right.
There's a wireless version, which I love wireless headsets. I like getting up, moving around the house, and having it on my head. I can hear, but when you go wireless, you are missing out on some of the good stuff. So the reason why I went ahead with the corded version of this one, that was the game DAC. You get this interesting, I don't know if I can hold it up. Yeah, you get this interesting bass right here, and that bass is pretty incredible. You can make your sound whatever you want it to be like. There's an equalizer on it that you get to set yourself. Because when I first put this headset on, I was like, because I had the Arctis 7, Arctis 7 at the time, which is wireless, and that sounded gorgeous. It was comfortable. I turn on music, you hear good bass, good sounds, mids, highs. put this thing on. I was like, oh man, this is flat. I don't know if I want this. I was contacting. I was like, man, it's kind of flat. He was like, did you mess with the real reason why we even have this? I was like, oh, okay.
Yeah.
So I went ahead and messed with it, and I was like, oh literally my face. I was like, oh my god. I was like, I called my fiance. I was like, look, this thing is awesome. I can't believe what I'm hearing. Yeah, I was like, can you speak to me on Skype so I can hear how it's and her voice comes clear.
The sound is so good. You will call your fiance.
Exactly. You call your fiance. Yeah. Take that turn, slap your mama.
Yeah, right. For sure. Yeah.
It's so good. And they were so happy with my response. They asked me to write up a small little review of what I have and take a picture of my equalizer. And I think they put it up on the website. But this is gorgeous. It feels good. People might look at it a little bit on the expensive side, but sound, I mean, you can't pay enough for good sound. You got to have it. It sounds good. It feels so comfortable. It has memory foam in it. It fits to your ear. It's not the leather that makes your ear sweat and take it off like you have bugs crawling all over your ear because you got black.
That's why I use these, because I just any over-ear headset, I just get sweaty ears and it just feels disgusting. So
this one, I never sweat in these, which is crazy to me. Okay. And they're super lightweight. Yeah. And if you notice, there's no adjustable. It doesn't adjust to your head. It just has a band right there. Yeah, and it fits everybody's head. You even got an awkward peanut head or something. It fits. Yeah. So instead of having like that thing break over a while, because I had a Logitech 930. I'll never forget those headsets. Those things. You're talking about surround sound. Sound like you're in a movie theater. But boy, did they break fast, man. So SteelSeries, good product, sturdy, reliable.
That's cool.
And I like them.
That's good. Well, yeah, because like you were saying, I mean, quality-wise, I mean, if you go to their website and you just read about it a little bit, they talk about how it's an audiophiles headset, right? They really focused on audio quality. So that's cool. That's awesome. Cool. And then so let's move on. We got the SteelSeries Apex keyboard. With the Cherry MX keys. This thing's pretty slick. So what's your favorite thing about that keyboard? What would you say? Man,
the response time on this keyboard is absolutely ridiculous. When you press a key, no matter if it's light or hard, it actually has that. It actually has like a pressure. I don't know how they did it, but it actually is a thing in this keyboard. The cool thing about this keyboard, not only does it look pretty when it's lit up because it has the chrome colors on it, it reacts to different video games. So you can program this thing. So I think Neverwinter was one of the ones they gave me the keyboard for the demo because I was already doing some stuff for Neverwinter. When your health is low, your whole keyboard turns red.
Oh,
and
that's cool.
As your health goes down, the keyboard starts blacking out. That's
cool.
Insane.
Yeah.
And it turns fully green if you're full health. If your skills are going off, the keys that your skills are on, whatever you map to the game maps to the keyboard. It blinks and everything.
Wow.
When the cooldown timer goes off, it's insane, man. The things you can do, because SteelSeries gives you a SteelSeries engine that you download, and all your updates, firmware updates, macros, everything that you need to put on your keyboard is right there, easy to get. And the cool thing I like about it is it doesn't have the number keypad on the side. I know a lot of people have to have that number keypad. I don't. It's a really small footprint on your desk. I have two of them actually. I have one, its brother, that has the number keypad. It's a little bit longer, but this one is made for top end gaming. It's made for esports players. If you like shooters, this is it. Like, because typically you turn your keyboard, to adjust to your hand, so your elbow doesn't have to move, so you can quickly click through for macros and stuff. And this is the perfect keyboard for it. I've always used SteelSeries, even when I wasn't sponsored for them. Love these style keyboards. Very impressive, sturdy equipment. Haven't had a problem with it whatsoever.
That's cool. Is it real clicky, real loud, or is it kind of quiet?
I mean, it's about if I'm smashing it, it's about that loud. But normally when I type, you don't really hear from it or feel from it or anything like that. So
okay, that's cool. All right, moving on to the SteelSeries Rival 600 mouse.
Right.
So again, I looked at that top of the line.
Yeah,
looks like it builds into the SteelSeries engine software again. So what do you think about that keyboard or that mouse? Sorry,
mouse.
What do you think about the mouse?
Funny story. SteelSeries always dropped the ball on MMO mics. I'm a big MMO player, always been. I call myself like an MMO like extraordinaire because I really research, go down to the numbers with it. And I was like, when are you guys gonna come? I'm tired of using. I use a Razer product. I want to let you guys know this. You didn't come out with the, you know. And they were like, we got you. Just don't say anything. Soon. That's what they kept saying. And it took a year for me to keep hearing soon. And next thing you know, they were like, we want to fly you to Chicago. And I was like, okay. And then they surprised us with the Rival 600 MMO mouse. And at first I looked at it, I was like, what is this? There ain't no numbers on the side, man. They designed this mouse to fit your thumb, because the problem with the Razer, you have to know exactly where the buttons were. So you often had to look to make sure you hit the back buttons. These were so uncomfortable to hit. They tried to do it to where this ball of your thumb, the bone, actually can hit all the numbers, but it's impossible unless you got like really tiny hands, I guess. Yeah. So this Rival 600 fits in your hand, and you minimal movement. You just do your thumb down, up, left, right, forward, back, and you hit six of the buttons just doing these small movement. Yeah. And then where your fingers already rest, there's 7 and 8 and 9 on this side, 10 in the middle. Easy. I shot a commercial I did a commercial for them. I did all the production for them with them when it came to this mouse. People were like, man, you got some pretty hands. So I was actually a hand model for them. So if you go on a website and you see the hand clicking, that's my hand. All right. And that's the first time SteelSeries did a really comedic commercial with me, featuring me and Doc Got Game. And this mouse sold a lot. Yeah. Yeah, it's one of their favorite mice, and I suggest it for anybody, not only people that play MMOs, but people that play MOBAs, shooters, anything that has a skill bar at the bottom. You're gonna love this mouse. Like, I adjusted to it really fast. And on a side note, to show you how much they care, they actually had a Razer mouse there, and had this mouse. We had to do tests, speed tests. Not even kidding you. Clicking speeds, the same speed test they gave you at Riot Games for League of Legends. Same thing. Yeah. And at first, of course, I was faster on the Razer because I already knew it, right? Yeah. But after 3 or 4 sessions, I was blowing through. I couldn't even believe how fast I was clicking. So definitely something to check out. Yeah.
All right. So second tip I've learned tonight: if you want to be partnered quickly, you need to be a hand model.
Yeah. You know,
cat cam.
Keep your hands good, man.
If you're taking notes, write those 2 down: hand model, cat cam. Equals partnership. Got it. Okay. All right. Partnership or sponsorship. If you got good hands, you can get sponsorships. Got it. Okay. Cool. All right. So now we're moving on. Let's move into a new segment. We'll get back into the streamer gear. So we're going to go down the road of another sponsor of yours, which is Elgato. And so I see. So is that right behind you? Is that the Elgato green screen?
Yeah, this is the Elgato green screen. It's collapsible. I'll show you.
Oh, here we go. Demo.
Yeah. Let me get
demo reel.
So it goes down.
Whoa.
Easy.
Yep.
You know, eventually I'm going to move my room around. I'm going to have the nano leafs on the back, and I'm going to have a shelf in the back with a whole bunch of pop figures and stuff. Yeah. It goes right up. Just that easy. And the cool thing about it is it's travel friendly, like big time. It's lightweight. It's not heavy. Some people might find it heavy. It depends on who you are. But it does come with a carrying bag, everything. It does go through the airport, believe me. It's the fact that it's collapsible, man. Green screens are a pain. You got to worry about, like, back in the day, I had a sheet. All right, we had the big old green.
I got a gigantic sheet folded up.
Yeah, the big old green
sheet, huge
man.
Green sheet folded up right here on the ground next to me. I mean, I could sleep in this thing if I needed to. Yeah, it's huge.
And I had those really ridiculous arms that hold it that always collapsed by themselves. They broke apart. You know, so I got tacky, man. This is my walls. I hung that bad boy up there. I put tacks all over my wall, man.
I got metal hooks embedded in the wall, in the sheetrock on both sides. It's so stupid, man. It's so crazy. Yeah.
And I suffered from shadows. Shadows. Yep. So man, back when I started streaming, it's funny how we talk about this. I had 2 desk lamps that you normally would have on your nightstand, yellow lights, man. People are like, why are you orange? I finally upgraded to LED lighting when LED lighting became affordable. Still expensive, like $8 a bulb. And then they were like, God, man, I was getting headaches from the light because it was like on my face. My green screen was like, I was showing like my chrome, was showing like holes in my face because it was too bright. This right here, no shadows whatsoever. And it's easy to put up, easy to put down. It's always, you never have to iron anything on this. It's just a one heck of a built product. This is probably one of the best ideas yet.
Yeah.
And they did it. Nobody else did it. So.
Yeah, they've been killing it this last couple of years. I mean, with the Stream Link, which I think is their most recent product is. I mean, the Stream Link is just with cameras and stuff like that's fantastic. The green screen, and then we're gonna get to it right now, which is the Elgato Stream Deck.
Yeah.
So this thing, I mean, I'm thinking that's got to be like one of the greatest pieces of equipment to come out for broadcast. For literally for anybody. I mean, you can even use it to macro for games. You could do whatever you want with it.
Games, music.
Yeah. It's so what do you use it for mostly? Like what I guess the question is, well, before you had it, what problems or headaches has this solved for you? The Elgato Stream or the Stream Deck.
All right. So when I first started streaming, I went to OBS because it was free. I was all about the cheapest way. And man, I had like 50 gazillion scenes on my OBS because I didn't know how to consolidate or actually work it. So I had like 22 scenes when I first started out. And I had to like look, you see me on the camera like this, like scrolling, like seeing that, trying to click on the screen to see which one is what. But with the Stream Deck, man, it's literally everyone should have one. Like, period. There's so much space, stuff you can store in it because it's all about folders and stuff, subfolders, subfolders of subfolders. I have every scene laid out with an image, so I click it. I have an image for when it's off and an image when it's on, so I know the differences between the two. It's super easy to set up, and every month they come out with a insane update that you don't even think that they're gonna do. I've seen people put video games, Duke Nukem, on their Stream Deck and play it. I've seen musicians, because I used to DJ full time before I started streaming.
DJTechlive,
and
yeah. I was gonna ask, but then I was like, that's a stupid question.
No. That's where it came from.
Yep.
And beatbox on the Stream Deck. Store their music on the Stream Deck, and they even like switch transitions through it. So there's so much you could do, but that scene thing was the biggest headache, and it's easy to find. You could travel anywhere with it. You could save your profile settings, jump on an OBS, and bam, it works. Like,
that's nice. Yeah, and then I think one of the most recent the updates that I saw was that you can do like animated buttons and stuff. Like you can. Yeah, this thing is just.
They just added that.
Every month it just gets better and better and better and more useful. I still don't have one yet, and I feel like I'm living in the Stone Age. But that's definitely something, especially at the price point. I mean,
the price point is insane.
Right now is about $100 still, or is it?
Yeah, I think it's on sale. Normally it's $149.99. I think they always have a sale, always, and it's. Even for the $150, you're getting something that is gonna save you so much time and money. I say after 3 months you're gonna make your money back easily from using this thing.
Well, I mean, even just compare it to other pieces of equipment. I mean, I got a ring light right here that's $150 ring light.
Right, yeah.
And it's literally just a light. You know what I'm saying? Like, to get the functionality out of something like that, that's I mean, yes, $150 isn't cheap, right? For everybody, but but $150 for the utility, for the ease of use, for everything that you get from it, it sounds like it's becoming kind of a standard,
right?
Like a lot of these things are. So that's cool. That's awesome. All right, so let's move on from that. We get into one of the things. Now, I know nothing about mixers. Nothing. I use such a basic setup. I got a microphone, I got a camera, I got lights, and a computer. That's all I do. So I don't know anything about them. And then you said that you use the Yamaha MG10 XU. And I looked at this thing, and I'm just looking at the picture of it, and I'm like,
it's intimidating.
I don't even like. I could probably like launch a rocket with this thing. Like it's so. There's so many knobs and stuff. I don't know anything about it. So you're gonna have to kind of explain. So what do you do with this contraption? What is this? I
mean, all right. So when I first started, I didn't know mixers were a thing for streaming. I knew about it with DJing, obviously. Right. So when I decided to go to PC stream setup, I did it the old-fashioned hard way. I looked up. There was no guides. There was one guide that was Ammunition's guide. Her guide looks like a roadmap to heaven. It is like chords, product. So I was like, okay, Not doing that. So I looked up Twitch. Somebody on Twitch actually put out a guide that week, and the guide seemed easy. So I bought 2 capture cards. I had them feeding to each other, doing stuff that I didn't have to do because all I needed was HDMI cable. And I was worried about the delay from audio. So, but when I did 2 capture cards, it didn't get in the delay. So I was like, oh, I X'd that out. But you had to make the computer A listen to your mic, which pushed to the computer B. It was just a pain. So I had a engineer. She's a friend of mine. She used to look over my screen. She says, why don't you just get a mixer? And you want to do voice changer anyway, because I do a lot of RP when I play games and stuff like that. And I was like, yeah. So it had it built in. So I got the Yamaha. Now, the reason why you see so many knobs and buttons, those are called channels. So there's different channels, and different channels control different, audio equipment. So I can actually hook up more audio equipment to this mixer, and it powers it. Yeah. What's the big reason to have one? Everything feeds through it and pushes out. So there's no need to be going around the world where you just plug it in and go. Yeah. There's some other accessories you need with it, like audio cables and some adapters here and there. And I even have some isolators on it to cut down on white noise. That's the biggest pain, is the white noise that you get from the mixers. Because computers don't put the best audio equipment, like sound cards aside, unless you know what you're doing and order it. So the isolators help, and isolators was something you use in the car, Yeah. So
like sound blaster, audio cards.
right, sound blaster, Yeah. So it's great, man. I can't stream without this thing. I have a foot pedal below me. Usually I had to press the button on the top to do sound voices, but now I can just click the pedal, do the voice, click it off. Yeah. And anything that makes it efficient in the stream better. Like I said, audio is extremely important, and having a mixer definitely ups your game when it comes to audio.
Yeah, that's cool. Yeah, I think I was watching you play. What were you playing? What were we playing the other day? You played it for the first time. No, you're playing it for the first time. You were creating a character, and you made it something that looked like a hairy goblin. And
that was
like a crazy little super high pitched voice. Yeah, dude, that was killing me.
Yeah, Pillars of Eternity too.
Yeah, that's it. Yeah, that was killing me. That was good. That's funny. So that's cool. So then you use it for audio changes, and then just
volume control, big time volume control, man. Like instead of me having to go and right click Windows, turn it down, I can just turn a knob down, and it'll power one PC or another PC. If somebody's talking too loud, I can mute them straight from it. There's a lot of things you do, and I'm just using it basic. There's some insane stuff you can do with this mixer, but you don't have to get that. The Yamaha is expensive. I wanted something that was going to be sturdy and a name that I knew, but I think Behringer, is the name. That's one people go with a lot, and you can get a little tiny mixer with like 2 or 3 channels on it, and the feature setup. So those are like anywhere between $50 to $100. So
I might need to if I ever get to the point where I need to do anything special, I might need to look into that. But that thing is like insane. You guys can see a picture of it down below. If you're watching the video right now, we got a picture of it down below, and that thing it's like mind blowing. I don't even know.
And this is the middle. This is the middle one.
I know. Well, I was looking, and it's like on Amazon. It's funny because like in Amazon, it says like which model do you want, and there's like 6 models, and I was like, this thing's crazy. And then I went down and I was like, that one's not so scary. And then there's
36 channels.
But then you start going up and you're like, dude, this is just like I can't even.
Yeah, there's one that's 36, I think even 42 channels or something like that. That's
scary. That's like that's like Hollywood quality right there. That's crazy. That's crazy. Okay, so then we'll breeze over this one real quick, but you use the BenQ 27-inch monitors. How many monitors you got?
I have 4 monitors altogether. 2 of the monitors I had when I first started streaming. And funny thing, I started out with a laptop, an Asus G73 laptop, and I had a monitor hooked to it so I could have 2 screens because I wanted one with chat and one with gameplay, and I wanted a bigger screen for gameplay, obviously. And it's an addiction, We think we need bigger. We really don't, but it's so nice to have because you can fit more on the screen. So eventually I'm going to replace these 2 on the side because they're not mountable, because back then mounting screens for a computer weren't really a big deal. So they didn't really create a lot of monitors with that. So I'm going to give those, away. And then I'm going to get 2 more screens, probably 2 more BenQs, because I'm going to turn them vertically,
Yep. Vertical. Yeah, for sure.
Yeah.
So
it's gorgeous, man.
Yeah, no, that's awesome. Yeah, the vertical, we got a lot of coders, you know, we got all the engineers at work and stuff.
Yeah,
They got
yeah.
the long screens, and yeah, it's pretty
It's a
slick.
lot
It's a
easier.
slick look for sure, especially for
Mhm.
chat, right? You could have a huge
Right,
amount
you
of
don't have to
chat on
scroll
there.
as much.
Yeah,
Yeah,
that's
even
cool.
coding and stuff. Yeah, it's the same thing because I'm learning Java and stuff, so it's easier to keep everything on one screen without having to scroll. Easy to copy and paste and move around.
Yeah,
You can put multiple things. I have email. I can have email, Twitter, and chat. You know, all on one screen without having to worry about moving stuff around. So it's definitely worth it.
For sure, for sure. So then, just real quick, just what? So you got 4 screens.
Yeah.
What's your stream setup? So when you're about to go live, what do your screens look like? What do you got? Kind of just a quick synopsis. What do you got on each screen? How are you setting yourself up?
So I got like this 27-inch. The BenQ monitor sits in the middle. It's my big boy, and then right on top of it, I have another monitor. It's one arm controlling 2 monitors. Okay. So BenQ is on that one. It's at the bottom because BenQ is heavy. Is on what, and then the monitor on top sits right on top of the BenQ. So it comes down to the side. I didn't put it directly on top because first of all, I have my cameras there, and second of all, I wanted to be at an angle to where I could just naturally look up. You know, so I have chat typically up there, and Twitter or Discord. My mods have a command in chat where they do !listen and does Navi. Hey, listen, you know.
Oh yeah.
I know they need me, so I just look straight up, boom, answering them, done. You know.
Yep.
And then my left side, that's my dashboard. So I have all my stuff dealing with stream, all the analytics stuff is right there. On the right side is OBS. I have OBS running. I don't run my stream. I used to back in the day, I used to run my stream and OBS, but OBS just runs. So I make sure everything is good, make sure I'm not dropping any frames, make sure the picture quality is great. And yeah, that's it. That's typically how it goes. And 2 cameras sit on top of the BenQ monitor. So yeah.
Cool.
Yeah.
All right. So moving on. Now we're going to talk really quick about your latest edition. We were talking about it a little bit off air. We talked about this a little bit, but you got the Wacom Cintiq Pro, and so I know that you said that it's not even unboxed yet, and that's cool.
No,
but what's the just so we kind of know? I mean, what's the plan behind it? So you do art. Talk a little bit about what your creative streams kind of are.
Right. So I mean, they're a combination of me getting work done. I get commissioned a lot. I had to close my commissions for almost a year because I was so backed up. And while I'm doing commissions, I like to teach people how to do stuff. So I did a lot getting started out. The reason why I got really well known was doing emotes for bigger streamers. So Tally, I did emotes for him, Chinglish. I mean, the list goes on and on. Some from Duck Sauce here and there. So when I've done those, I did them live because to me it was a way to copyright my emotes. And if I found somebody else that did something so similar, I could say, hey, can you take that down? It's a little too similar to mine. Can you change it or whatever? And it was credibility to the streamers to actually come in. It was a plot. Have them come in and host the channel.
Business tactics. Okay.
Right. Bring their crowd over so I get more viewers because I was like, I'm doing this for them. So it was automatic. You know, they came in, they chilled, they got to see their emote being done live. That was one. Then 2, I do like little mini classes. So I teach people about movement in an art piece. You know, the different art pieces there is, coloring tutorials, you name it.
Yeah.
And I wore that tablet out that I had, the Intuos Pro Medium, had for 8 years. So normally technology is built to last you 3 to 4 years. That one I had double the lifespan, and it has served its mark. It's gone. Like that thing is super dead.
Yeah.
And I was like, I complain about that tablet every day. And my community on my subiversary put it together and got me a Cintiq, blew my mind. It's an expensive piece of equipment. I'm actually gonna be putting the arm together tomorrow morning, and I'm gonna be trying to set it up live on stream. So that's another reason why I have 2 cameras, so I can do setup streams. Yeah, that's pretty much what it is. We call it Creative Sunday. It's been a thing, and it probably lasts around like probably 4 or 5 hours. Yeah.
That's cool. That's awesome. All right, cool. And so we're getting towards the end of the gear, and the last piece that I didn't put in the bottom below. So if you're watching the video on YouTube, it's not going to be down below here. But I just want to hit on really quickly because it's an important piece. A lot of people are getting into their lighting now, right? So lighting is becoming kind of a big deal as we're starting to see this shift from people just throwing up a webcam and getting a little headset mic and kind of doing that thing. People are starting to really get production, quality stuff going. They're getting the box lights, they're getting LED ring lights, they're getting all sorts of crazy stuff. And so what is your lighting setup currently, and what did you come from? So when you started out, when you first kind of hit go live, what were you using? Was it, just normal light? And then like, where are you at now?
Man, all right. So when I first started streaming, I used the dome light above my head of an apartment. And that thing was horrible, man. I looked
Yeah.
like a shadow with teeth and eyes. So I was like, all right, guys, so I went in the room and grabbed a lamp,
Yeah.
I took the shade off, turned it on. I was bright as day, but
Yeah.
they could see me.
Yep.
So they dealt with that. And like I said, I upgraded to 2 lamps, had on each side to mimic, lamp. But the lighting was so bad, it would turn me yellow, orange sometimes. I had to adjust my camera, mess my chroma up for the chroma key for the green screen at the time.
Yep.
Messed that up because it wasn't true, white light. Somebody got so sick of my lighting, they bought me 2 box lights, studio lighting.
There you go.
And they box lights that don't get hot. Because you can get the ones with that studios actually use with the umbrella look to it, and those things get hot. But these box lights, they're set up in a way to keep it cool, and they stay on for a long time. The bulbs are like gigantic, those twisty looking bulbs that last few years.
Are they the incandescent bulbs? I don't know. I don't know what they're called. Yeah.
There's like the LED, right? The spiral one. These are gigantic.
Like
these
long.
Yeah. Yep. So they don't burn. I mean, I had these things for like 2 years now. They don't burn out. So that they all came from Amazon, and they're easy to set up, and they sit there. Eventually, I'm gonna get better lighting. Because there's a more professional grade lighting you can get, but you're gonna be spending the money for it. There's ring lights now. I got a ring light for my phone for when I stream from the phone. The ring light for taking picture. Heck, I got a ring light that's still in a box. That's been in a box for a year and a half now. That someone bought me because they want me to take better selfies. So, they were like, "Yo, you need to start taking selfies and putting that on your Twitter and putting on your thumbnails. Make quality pictures." And it's funny how the community cares enough about that. But your presence is your selling tool. You are your selling tool. So I understand that. But yeah, so we came a long way, man. No more desk lamps. We got those box lights. It's even lighting on both sides. Yeah. The bad thing is it takes up a whole room, like the whole setup. Desk is ginormous. It takes up a lot of space. Lighting is ginormous. So but it's worth it in the end. I'm all about quality and production.
And as you start getting in that realm, it's like you got the big old boom arm, you got the big old mic, you got the lights and the cameras, and it starts to kind of, I mean, my desk, this whole office is dedicated to basically just, I mean, everything behind me, there's cameras, and it's all gear. There's just so much gear that goes into it, and it becomes an obsession. Like after a while, you know what I mean? Like you get a brand new microphone and you're like, now I'm looking at you and I'm like, man, that microphone looks so much better than the one right in front of me. I kind of like that, So it starts to become an obsession, but well, cool, man. So then last but not least, what does your future look like? Do you have any like upgrades planned right now? Like for any of your gear, anything on the list? Are you looking at upgrading anything or buying anything new, any new additions just that are, like you use the mixer, like, maybe like if there anything brand new that's going to be coming to your stuff, or are you looking for upgrades on any of these pieces?
Yeah. Eventually, the desk, I have an uplift desk that's going to be here forever. The computers, obviously, I update those. I'm not going to be getting a graphics card anytime soon. I use a 980 Ti right now. And that thing has held me good for years. So we're going to ride that out until the wheels fall off. But when it comes to camera update. We're going to do a DSLR camera, probably the Sony, because it's a little bit easier for movement. I move around a lot. I stand up, I dance, I do all kinds of stuff on stream. So that's going to be real good. I haven't seen you
dance yet.
Oh yeah, you missing it, man.
Okay, I'm gonna have to look. I'm gonna have to go back through some VODs and check that out. All right.
Look at the Summerversary. That one was crazy, man. And on the run, I just recently did a techathon. It actually says that in the title. That one is actually really. I had to wear a wig, all kinds of stuff. It was crazy.
I think I saw the thumbnail for that one, and I breezed over that one. I didn't click on that one. Maybe now I need to go back and actually think about it. That was all right. Cool.
Yeah. It gets a little crazy, but that monitors, of course, I'm upgrading. I'm eventually going to get a better mic down the road from Blue. Blue got some stuff up their sleeve coming through that I want to get. But other than that, man, I'm content where I am right now. Right now, I'm about being efficient and having lighting better, and enjoying the space. Once you start getting into this game, you think you need all this big stuff, but you don't. So I'm gonna start actually not downgrading, but downsizing.
Simplifying,
right, because I want to be able to pull the screen down and you see a nice, beautiful scene behind it. You're like, wow, that looks really good. Because for my talk times that I do before streams, I don't want to have the green screen. I want to show them, you know, hey, boom, and then I have like letters or whatever, fan art, whatever they put, we'll have it behind me, kind of as a you know, homage to them, you know, saying thank you.
Bookshelf, little
Oh
crackling
yeah,
fireplace. You can sit back in your
yeah,
chair
you
with
know.
your coffee. And
I can do crackling fireplace right now with the green screen, you know.
Okay, well there you go. Yeah, that's true. That's true. That's true. Yeah. That's
Yeah,
cool.
man.
That's
So,
awesome.
yeah, but yeah, so that's the future plan for tech. Of course, consoles. I have all the consoles in front of me right now.
Yeah.
The capture card helps with that. You know,
Yeah,
the
for
Elgato
sure.
capture card. But yeah, that's about it. Yeah.
Cool.
Too serious.
That's awesome. Well, hey, you know what? Well, that's it. We've reached the end
All
of the
right.
list. That's the list of gear right there. And so for you guys watching on YouTube, you know, or on Twitch or wherever I'm posting this, you know, I got all the, as you've been watching the gears, I got all the gear listed down below, but in the descriptions, I'm going to put links to every single piece of gear that he's using. I'm going to put all of his contact information, all of his social media profiles. You can see his right below, right here. There's a couple of them for him and me. You know, so check him out. I'll have links to everything. I will not be, when you go to the description, you're not going to be able to not find a link to wherever he's at. So we're going to link him up. We're going to put all the gear down there. If you have any questions, throw them in the comments of the video below, and I'll make sure that I can get those over to him. And I just want to dialogue. I want to make this series, I want it to be as useful for you guys as possible. The whole point behind this entire thing, the reason why he even agreed to come on this show, was we wanted to make this a resource. We want to make it, I just want to expand, you know, I want to make it so that you know where to go, how to get started, what you need, what you don't need. You know, simplify, stay simple, as simple as you can for as long as you can. But you know, hopefully this will help you kind of up your quality, make your, you know, just make you pop a little bit more, you know, give you that extra edge earlier in your creator career. You know, so the goal is just to learn. And so please, any questions that you have, throw them in the comments below. Check out the gear that he's got. Ask any questions you got. I'd love to answer them. But DJ Tech Live, thank you so much for coming on this series.
Thanks for having me, man.
Yeah, man, I'm stoked. You were an amazing guest, and
thank you.
You hit all the boxes. You hit everything I wanted to cover, so that was fantastic.
Awesome.
But like I said, guys, I will link everything in the description below. And hopefully we're gonna be doing more of these. I got some other people lined up that want to come on the show and do this, so you know we're gonna continue this series going forward. But thank you so much for watching. If you enjoyed this video, if you enjoyed what you saw in this series, or if you've seen some of my other reviews and stuff like that, and you're interested in learning more as more videos come out, please don't forget to like and subscribe to the channel. I'm coming out with stuff every week. I got a new review or video every week. We're gonna start throwing this series in there as well. So subscribe. Don't forget to hit the little bell icon next to the subscribe button, because YouTube's changes are making it where if you don't hit that button, you don't get notified sometimes. So make sure you do that. But other than that, guys, thank you so much for watching, and I will see you guys next time. Hey guys, hopefully you enjoyed the video. If you did, don't forget to check out the other videos that are popping up right over here, as well as don't forget to like and subscribe to the channel for more awesome reviews, and I'll see you guys next time.